Okay, people. So thanks to Robin Dean over at Margaret, I was able to check out Wild Waters. Right, this is the new documentary from Ben Davis. It's produced by Pete Jenkinson. Um, Ben also co-produces. Right, we've got cinematography from Jeff Brockate. It's edited by Joe Dale. Mm, yeah, like there's not a whole lot of it's not listed on IMDb. There's not like we don't get the cast list or anything, which is always a bit of a pain. Um, but right, it's essentially about Gadding Dam, which is a reservoir hidden in the West Yorkshire moors, 780 feet above sea level. The bleak but romantic landscape, steeped in the poetry and prose of Ted Hughes and the Brontes. It's the home to the UK's highest beach. The small strip of sand acts as a magnet to a community of swimmers, day trippers, walkers, bikers, and runners. There's a rhythm as people come and go, having made the 20-minute trek up a broken footpath, each drawn to the beauty as it changes with the seasons. Always the same, always different. Some hardened locals brave the wind, rain, and snow to wild swim. All seasons for escape, camaraderie to keep the black dog at bay, or just for sheer thrill. As they hit the water, all experience the same visual hit, taking away everything except the moment. Time stops and peace arrives. But there is more to this place than just swimming. A whole ecosystem of activity circulates around the reservoir. There are the volunteers who maintain the footpath in all weathers, the pub landlord fighting to keep vehicles out of his car park, the farmer and whose cattle need rescuing, the Gadding Dam Preservation Society, and the January Daily Dippers. So yeah, that's what it is about. And it's beautiful, right? I mean, if you've been to Yorkshire, there are some just fantastic places to walk, right? It's like there's so many lovely places around the country, like I love Windermere, you know what I mean? Going there, walking, but yeah, Yorkshire is just as nice. So there's this reservoir. Supposedly, right, it was shown on a show called Country File, right? And yeah, it was a bit of a secret. Not many people knew about it until Country File kind of like let the cat out the bag. So people go there, right? People go there to wild swim and hang out and, enjoy the countryside. But yeah, we're kind of following this group of people who, like, it started with this January dip, a few people posting it online, which then got more people to come and join them. And now there's this group, this community, this family, right? So we're looking at these people, but on top of that, right, you just think, okay, so it's, them doing this whole swim in the cold, right? These crazy people swimming outside. But, they talk about their lives and how, it's impacted them, right? You've got a lady that was just going through this whole situation in her life. She left her family, and really found comfort in the swimming, right? Another lady, she was teased at work, right? Someone's like, oh, you should do a triathlon. And she was just like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go do this. And so she started out slowly, slowly, done a few, coming last, but, slowly improving, right? So that all of these different people and just the way they navigate this. So you get that interesting look, right? We find out that the local community, the local town, bought the reservoir. You know, I don't know. I don't like. They didn't really say if it was going to be closed or what the situation actually was, but they bought the reservoir and now they, maintain it themselves. Right. So it really is this local fixture. And everyone just talks about, the experience, right? Because it's definitely an experience like hitting cold water, right? Hitting cold water is a thing. So I used to go surfing in hail. And when you first get in that motherfucking water, woo, it just, boy, it hits you. But here's the thing, you start moving and it goes, right? You don't really notice the cold at all. So yeah, like surfing at least twice a day, right? Getting in that cold water, I get it. I get that buzz, that feel. But yeah, it's just these people just talking about what it does to them, like that spirituality, you know, that feeling of focus. Because I mean, you definitely feel focused. Like suddenly everything else is gone, right? You're just dealing this cold, this shock through your system, and it's just like, okay, gotta move, right? I'm moving. Okay, that's what I'm moving. What am I doing? I'm gonna hit that wave. That's what I'm doing. So you just drilled in, and that's definitely a thing. So yeah, we just have all of these people talking about like the experience and all of this. Some of the people seem to be like they want to swim naked, which they didn't really explain why, right? Didn't really explain why. Why why you want to swim naked, right? Like, yeah, they didn't really have explain that aspect of it. It's a guy with a ukulele. I would drown him if I was there. I'd have to drown him. Yeah, ukuleles annoy me so much. They fucking annoy me, man. Yo, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with the cold water. It's just this motherfucking ukulele. Yo. But no, they all see, he seemed fine. He seemed fine. There's this walk. This woman called it her the hell hill. I mean, not very original, but yeah, I mean, she's like, it's this steep hill that you climb to get to the reservoir. And you know, like I'm just like, yo, if you're doing this every day, it's not gonna be that tough, right? Because you get used to it, right? It's fit. I just remember the beach going surfing on in Hale. There is like it's a steep walk down to it, but it's just like, yo, you're doing that multiple times a day, right? It's just like, yo, it's nothing. It's a little bit, it's a buzz. It's a buzz before you get into that water. But yeah, some people saying it's done wonders for certain health conditions. A guy with ADHD says it has helped him focus. Women in the menopause say, it helped with all those hot flushes and other things such as that. So there's just all of these benefits health wise, but then, like, as a community, you can see that it is, I think, bringing these people together, but kind of just doing wonders for the well-being, right? So we see all of that, which is great. Now, it's on top of this hill. It's in the, the hills of Yorkshire. So the cinematography is lovely, right? We get these great views and everything. And also, like, we get these shots, some underwater, some following people as they're swimming, which does help kind of bring you into it all, right? Bring you close into the action. So you kind of get that feel for things. So it is really interesting, right? It touches on other things like, there's a pub close by. And I think a lot of people, because of this show Country File, park in his car park and outside, and causing a bit of an issue. Doesn't, like, it mentions it, but it doesn't really talk about, right, how he's combating it or solutions. Right. So there are a few things that get touched on that don't really go anywhere. But I think the main thing of this is just showing um what this does, right? What it brings to people. And I think we definitely get that, right? We definitely get how just this act, this, daily act for some, has transformed their lives, which is fantastic, you know? And I think if you don't want a wild swim, right, there's probably something that could do the same for you, right? Like, for me, like, surfing was that, for a thing for a bit, jujitsu, you know what I mean? Pilates, there's a load of things that are real interesting. I can really just, use to help that mental health, you know what I mean? Just to invigorate you, right? And there's always something like that. So I think, well, this shows you there are these things that can do that, can help you, refocus your life. So, what I mean, it's very interesting in that regard. And yeah, I think these people in January, a big part of it is they raise money for charity, and crisis being one of them, right? So this is being distributed along with crisis. So yeah, it's a homeless charity. So I think you know, hey, that's a good cause. So, I think supporting the film helps that. So, there is that as well, people. But all the release information will be on the website and their website. So all the links will be there so you can follow through. You know what I mean? Check if it's screening anywhere near you, how you can maybe donate to Crisis, how you might be able to go to Gadding Dam and try a little dip as well, you know? The one thing that was a bit like, is because they pee in the reservoir. Yeah, yeah. That's the There's, like, in a swimming pool, it's nasty, but there's chlorine, right? But in a reservoir, there's no chlorine. There's no chlorine. So you have people peeing and whatever in there. Yeah, that's not great. That's not appealing, you know what I mean? But yeah, wild swimming. I know my friend Alex is probably, what I mean, all over this, right? So yeah, how you feel? You want to go wild swimming, people? Maybe just watch Wild Water instead.